All right, let's go over the terrains, David's ratings of the terrains for the Wyvern game. I'm just going to give my opinions. Now, I've been trying not to look at the list here because I don't want to see what's on top, so I haven't looked at it. My favorite terrains off the top of my head are probably Stream number one. I really like Hurricane and um, Island. Island is great. I very much like Frozen Lake and Pit. I think those are really good killer terrains. Swamp Hole, it's small dragons only, but it is a killer terrain, so it's not bad. The other ones, I think Poison Forest might be really good. I think the dual terrains are wonderful. Even the ones that don't do anything, I think are still pretty good. Um, there's other things. I mean, Clouds is kind of neat for affecting flyers. Um, I forget. Crevice is kind of interesting, and Vines. One of them I like more than the other. And Mountain and Cliff, I like the -2 penalty. But let's go into this and see what he's got. And already, oh yeah, of course, Field of Gold. Yeah, I love Field of Gold. Now, I like that he didn't go anything higher than an 8. I'm going to give some than an 8. I think that he didn't. Hurricane and Island. Where is Stream? Do you not think Stream is good? I could be wrong about Stream, but I think Stream is amazing. He gives it a 5. Okay. Ida is really good, but it won't do anything unless the dragon has a special ability. So it is limited. But I wouldn't make it number one, but I see. I wanna give it a high grade, but I don't think I can give it an 8. I think it's going to be it's going to be at least a 7. I don't know if it's a 6. I might say 7. So we're pretty good on that. Field of Gold, if anything, might be a 9. It could be Field of Gold, but there is a trade-off. You do get the +1 modifier. I'm going to stick with 8. All right, so he's got Vines and Crevices up here. Neither one. Here's my problem with one of them. No battle action cards can be played in a battle this dragon is a part of. My one problem is that means I can't play battle action cards in a battle either. See, that hurts me, and Vines affects flying dragons only, so of course you put Vines in the back row. Crevice doesn't affect flying dragons, so Crevice could get hit by a flying dragon. I don't like that, so Crevice isn't as good as Vines, in my opinion, because a flying dragon could hit it in the front row. It's only most likely it's only going to be a flying dragon hitting Vines in the back row. But I can't play I can't play battle actions either, which means if he's got a 3-strike dragon and I've got a 3-strike dragon, he attacks my 3-strike dragon, there's nothing I can do. So as it is worded, I've got to knock these down to a 5. If the only one who can't use battle action cards is the person, Vines is a 7, Crevice would be a 6. But if I can't play them, 5 or even a 4. So that's my position on that. I'm confused about Tunnel. Again, maybe I'm wrong about this, but I said in my review, the problem with Tunnel is all I have to do is move the dragon and attack. When is this not going to apply to me? When am I not going to be able to attack cards in a direct line if I can move? If there are no cards there to attack, he may attack any card he would normally want to, but I can just move, and now it's in the direct line with me. How am I wrong? So, David, if I'm wrong, please let me know. I would add to this that you can't move the dragon who's in the tunnel, which kind of makes sense to me. And as it is worded right now, I give this a 1. It doesn't do anything. If I'm wrong, I don't. If you can't move, I still don't think I'd give it a 7. I think I'd give it about a 5, if it works properly. Brush Fire, can't use the effects of any treasure for the rest of the game. Potentially good. I would lower it to a 6, possibly a 5, somewhere in there. Hurricane is amazing. I would give Hurricane an 8, possibly even a 9, but I would go 8. Just put it in the back row, and it's great. Same with Island. Island and Hurricane are 8s for me. Excellent terrains. Subterranean Lair, it only affects subterranean dragons. So this is very few dragons is going to be affected by this. Why would you ever play this? What am I missing here, David? Any subterranean dragon is now yours. Yeah, that's phenomenal, but why would you ever play this card? So I would give this card a 3. All right, Moat does not affect flying dragons, so Moat isn't as good as Clouds. Because Clouds I just put in my back row. Moat, I just got to hope a flying dragon doesn't hit it. So Clouds I'll give a 6. Moat, I'm going to give it a 4. I think I got to give it a 4. Swamp Hole, I don't think Swamp Hole's as good as Pit or Frozen Lake because it only affects little dragons. It's much less, so I'm not sure what his thought process is there. But again, I could just be missing something. I would give Swamp Hole a 4, probably, maybe a 5. It's fine. Underwater Cave, I don't really think is all that good. Dragon can only attack face-up cards for the rest of the game. And if there aren't any, he attacks face down at -1 strength. So this only makes him -1 against certain dragons. That's not as good as other things. So I would give this a 3 or a 4. Abbey, I love. Abbey, I'm going 7 or 8, probably 7, because it wrecks golden apples and fountains of youth. So I love Abbey. Trap is very cool. Can't argue with this because you take the dragon. In that sense, it's a 9, but you got to pay 2 gold each time. But I see that gold thing does make it hard. I guess I'd just leave it at 6. I think I'd probably just leave it there. Ruins is cool, a very cool terrain if it's turned face down, but you got to have a way to turn it face down, or this is not a very good card. But it does work with the native terrain dragon. So 6 is fine. Swamp of Lernia, I think he's right. Yeah, this is great in your Dragon Slayer deck. It's a must. Why would you not play this in your Dragon Slayer deck? It's a really fun card. And you play this with your Miasma native terrain swamp. And if that happens and you can slay a dragon with, any Dragon Slayer of any kind, great. Overgrown Monument. Now, this is the one that is a Ruins and a Vines. And you draw a card from your treasure hoard if it applies to the dragon that discovers it. That's great. I'm giving that a 7. Really, really good. Bracken, he gives a 6. Bracken is the -1 strength modifier chameleon, where you pay a gold to turn it into a 0 sub for the rest of the game. Now, the problem with that is you turn it into a 0, you're now losing the battle. We're going to assume that a scout hits it. So you're like, well, okay, well, it's 0 to 0. All you got to do is beat the scout. Now you've got a scout, but you got to win that battle, and you are losing initially. I would assume you would always, you would only do this when a scout hits it. If a dragon hits it, a weak dragon, maybe you try to win the battle, like a 0 or 1 strength dragon. Otherwise, you just put the -1 modifier on the dragon. So I think I'd go 5 with Bracken, a little lower. Coral Reef is a -1. I mean, I guess that is an average terrain, so sure, all of those would be negatives. But then Frozen Lake is going to be, I'm going to give Frozen Lake and Pit both a 7. I think they kill a good enough amount of dragons that makes them better, where Swamp Hole I lowered. I forget what I lowered Swamp Hole to. I think I just lowered it to a 5. If I didn't, it should just be a 5, because it's fine. It's a killer terrain. But now in my game, in my rules, these are better terrains. You can look up my rules and other videos I have that I explain how we do this. So we've just come up with another thing. And when we have our tournament, you're going to see how we utilize the terrains. So I've made them even better for the game. Wall. Dragon cannot get any help. That's fine. It's not necessarily good. It is really a kind of a sideboard card. So then you have your desert. That's a 5. Cave, I think, is a 4. Can only attack face-down cards for the rest of the game, kind of like the one that said only can attack face-up cards. So he's only -1 some of the time. So he's 4 for me. It's just okay. So forest, river, ocean, lake, these are all exactly the same. You give them a 5. Snowdrift has got to be a 6. It's got to be above. You don't get any gold. Stream gives you gold. Snowdrift doesn't. I think they messed up. I think Stream should have had no gold, and Snowdrift you get a gold, because Snowdrift says you have to pay a gold to attack. Stream says you lose a gold every turn. So to me, Stream is just obviously better. I'm giving Stream an 8 or a 9. I'll say 8. because I'm not going to go higher than 8 with any of these cards. But Stream is right up there at the top for me. And Snowdrift is, yeah, it's probably just a 6 because it doesn't do anything unless they attack. But that drain is very good. I have to give it above average, even though it doesn't do anything outside of that. All right, Underground Avalanche only applies to Subterranean Dragons. I'm not going to play that card, so I'm going to give it a 3 because it just doesn't affect enough dragons. Cliff is really good. Cliff is -2 strength modifier. I'm going to give that better than River, Lake, and stuff. Well, I'll give Cliff a 6. I think Quicksand is really good. You lose 1 strength immediately, so that's just like Lake and River and Ocean. But you lose 1 strength. It's not a modifier on anything. The dragon loses a strength, and then every turn he just gets weaker and weaker. So I'm curious why you made that a 4. I would make that at least a 7. At least. Mountains is a 6 for me, same as with Cliff. Camelot is not bad. I don't know if that's a 4 or a 5. It's really not that much. He can't be turned face down. Yeah, I would say 4. I think that's about right. Labyrinth, the dragon in Labyrinth cannot be replaced by choice. He can only be replaced if he can't do anything else. I think that's pretty neat. It's a 4 or a 5. It's right in there. I would say 5. 4 is 4 is a little weak. Arctic Winds. Dragon with Arctic Winds on it may not move during its owner's movement phase. Okay, so it's tunnel without anything else. But, that's not bad. But 4 or 5, yeah, it's fine. Poison Forest, I don't know why you're saying 4 for a Poison Forest. Yes, you get no gold, but -3 wrecks most dragons. Really wrecks them. So I'm going to give a 6 for Poison Forest. Waterfall. Counts as both a stream and a mountain for native terrain dragons, and it's a -1 modifier. So right there, it's better than Lake, River, and Ocean. And I'll give it a 6. It doesn't do anything else, so we'll leave that at 6. Forest Fire. This card would be so good if they just changed it. We've changed it, and it's good. My version is probably a 5 or a 6. I'm gonna lower this to a 2. I would never play this card because there's a really good chance that you're going to destroy a better card than I just destroyed of yours. I mean, it's somewhere around 50-50, and that's just not a good card. So I'm going to give it a 2. Wandering Rocks, I like. It's not great, but you can move this around. That's kind of cool. So I'm gonna give that a 6. I'm gonna put it slightly above the Lake, River, and Ocean because it's -1. But you don't, you get 1 gold. You get 1 gold. So okay, maybe not as good, but it's a 5 or a 6. Oasis counts as both desert and lake. So that to me again is 6. All of these dual terrains. I know why he didn't rate them high. He hasn't played with them. They're amazing, David. Let me tell you, we've played some. I'll try to get another video of us playing native terrains, or like where one of us plays a native terrain deck, and you see how the other player can deal with them. Sometimes they're just good, and sometimes they're amazing. So really, really cool stuff. Delta, this card. If Delta applies that a dragon discovers, they have to discard a card at random, and it counts as a native terrain dragon. That's a 7 in my book. Discarding a card at random can be devastating, but it's a good effect regardless. Chaparral, card that's, I believe, worth over $100. Pretty sure. Strength modifier, okay, -1. You can turn it into a dragon by paying 3 gold. It's only a 0 dragon. That's no good for 3 gold, but when attacking, sign strength equal the number of terrain cards. This is an automatic in my terrain deck. I may have traded it or sold it away. It may not be in my terrain deck anymore. I think Chaparral is amazing. I give Chaparral, the payoff might keep it down to a 6, but I'm going to go 7. That attacking equals to the number of terrain cards is really good. Chameleon terrains are great. He obviously doesn't like them. Sorry, man. Shoal for me is a 7. Grotto and Crag are a 6, and Nebula is a 5. They're all really good, and maybe Nebula is a 6, maybe Shoal is an 8, but you have to pay 5 gold for a 4-strength dragon. Right, you're overpaying for it because you're turning the terrain into a dragon, which gets around the scout. You have to pay extra for it. It would be way too powerful if you didn't have to pay extra for this subterranean dragon. You're stopping the scout from destroying your terrain. That alone makes these really, really cool. Craig is just a 2-strength. So I guess Nebula and Craig should be a 6, and Grotto and Shoal I would make a 7. Nebula might be a 5. It's just a little 1-strength flyer for the rest of the game, and that is kind of weak. I'd rather have a 0-strength scout, the one that turns it into a scout. That would be better. So I'll go 5 with Nebula, 6 with Craig, and probably 7 for Grotto and Shoal. I think they're really good terrains. All right, so 16-minute video. Hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know your thoughts on terrains, where you disagree with me and why. You want to say where you disagree with David and why, feel free. We are both enjoying this, so there is no, we're having a friendly argument. Let's put it that way. So it's really cool, and I'm really enjoying it. Hope you're enjoying this too, and I'll talk to you all later with the next one. We're going to do treasures. That'll be fun. Oh, Secret Treasures is number 1. Not my number 1, but it's a really good treasure. See ya.